I can guarantee that most of you have never heard of dysgraphia, which is completely normal due to the fact that only about 5% of people in the US have it. But I would like to change that today. Throughout elementary school, I always struggled with my academics. I was always just told that I wasn't trying hard enough, but everything finally made sense when I was diagnosed with a learning disability called dysgraphia. You might be wondering what dysgraphia even is. Well, it's a learning disability that affects the part of the brain that forms and analyzes words. The textbook definition for dysgraphia is the inability to write coherently, but that's not all it is. It also messes with your spelling, memory, reading, writing, comprehension, and sequencing. A quote that explains this in an amazing way is by Ian Aerosmith. It says, "Think back to a time when you had to write an essay for school, but experienced crippling writer's block. It might have lasted for a couple of hours or even days, but in the end, you probably hit that moment of inspiration when the ideas started flowing. Now imagine reaching that point but having no ability to write down your ideas. This is how an individual with dysgraphia feels. Dealing with this on a daily basis is very difficult. Having this makes school much harder, and it also affects everyday things. Say you're reading a book. It might take you 2 minutes to read a page. Well, it would take double the time for someone with dysgraphia to read that same page. Another example is handwriting. If you have ever seen my handwriting, it looks like a 5-year-old wrote it. This is due to the fact that writing is very hard for a person with dysgraphia. But because I have had to deal with these things for a while now, I have found some things that help with these challenges. The one thing that helps the most is learning through technology. Because writing is so hard, I type things out. By doing this, I have an easier time getting my thoughts out and onto paper. I also use things like Siri to help with my spelling. These might not be big things, but they make a huge difference when it comes to learning. From the time I was diagnosed with this learning disability to today, people have never understood what I have had and the challenges I face. Because it is so uncommon, it makes sense that people don't know what it is, and so therefore they don't understand someone with it. But I hope that by talking about it today, more people know what this learning disability is and how it affects people.